Oh, hello, people. I had a profound day today. Wow. It's one of those up and down whirlwind days. But I got some very, very useful downloads and, well, started last night actually. So I thought I'll share them with you because they're quite important. I'll try and put them into one video. It's easier, but just in case hopefully we won't lose any more videos. We won't lose it and there won't be a technical error and I can upload it. Otherwise I'll have to do another one. So let me start. Last night I was talking to Archangel Michael and I had some profound downloads, actually interesting to do with my daughter and her issues and trauma. And then I was chatting to Michael. I was up there, and anyway, I was being full of nonsense. So I did ask them. I said, okay, my daughter pointed something out, and I thought, okay, now you're always doing healing and shadow work. And people ask me about that. It doesn't end. We've got so much, thousands of years of it to do. So I pointed something out, and I thought there were small things. And I said, and I know this is going on. This is a problem in the light worker spiritual movement. A lot of people are being attacked. You know, sharing this movement, love, peace, whatever else they're doing. They're being attacked by other light workers. Oh, you shouldn't be saying that. You should only say. I made a video about it on my Facebook page, actually. There's a second person. Laurie Ladd was attacked by people. Mark Boyeski was attacked by people. Oh, you shouldn't be doing that. You're spreading fear. You shouldn't say this. You're not from the light. I mean, whatever. And I made a video about it yesterday, which I went up to to YouTube. I made a live on here, and I made a short one. But I went into detail about it on Facebook. So my daughter pointed something out, it was so interesting that they showed me this. That I'm critical. When they talk to me, I've noticed that I don't let them talk. I don't listen. That, you know, they start talking and I try and give them advice and we all do this, and I realized, you know, when they start talking to us, we start telling them what they should do and give them advice. This is how we've been taught. You know, whatever. We tell them our stories, you know, you should be doing this, like going to a shrink, the same thing. We tell people what they should be doing. And it's critical, you know, basically we critical. No, you shouldn't do it like that, you should do it like this. And so being critical, which is sort of judgment. So I thought, okay, it's not a nice thing. I criticize people. You don't do it, you don't even do it intentionally, but you do. So I thought, right, that's one thing I'd like to get rid of. I don't need to hold criticism. I don't need to hold this form of judgment. Where does that come from? And what was the other thing? Oh, not being a listener. So I thought, you know, this would be going back to my who knows what, I know. So I said to myself, right, tomorrow morning, make sure we do any healing, clearing. This doesn't serve me or for the greatest good for humanity. It doesn't serve anyone. I don't want to hold this energy, this frequency, this being, this, you know, these programs or whatever anymore. So I asked this morning, right? So I got up this morning, set up my crystals, hold them, whatever crystals, did my meditation. And I called them in. I said, the archangels come in. I called them. I sat down thinking it'll go to my parents. You know, they normally go back and they show you where it comes from. This is interesting. Maybe that's why they showed me now. I didn't get it in a regression. Because they showed me that all of us have this. This is a planetary issue. And it's been a program that's been taught to, it's been stuck into humanity. Humanity has this problem. Absolutely. And the weird thing was, we had went back to, so I'm thinking about it, I got it from my mother or somebody, you know, maybe they were critical to me when I was young and I took this thing on. They didn't listen to me and I was criticized or something, you know, so you don't know where it's come. So I get back and they get the visions and they're showing me in school. This is so interesting. Where the teacher is telling you, I'm saying our school, it's programmed. This program is a program that comes to our schools through everybody. So your family had this program. We've all got this program, which is not for our highest good. And this is not, none of them are actually what we've been taught and programmed in schools. Judgment, this, that. There's no unity, there's no love, there's no whatever. But it's interesting where it comes from. And this is why we all do it. We all got to tell people what they should be doing. We know better, you know, do it this way, do it that way. We thought. And there it goes back. I was sitting at school and then they show you how to write and must touch the line. And then if you know, people were left-handed. No, you mustn't write with your left hand. That's bad. You got to write with your right hand. And they used to tell people it was wrong. And especially my mother's age, she was left-handed. They used to smack her, or it was wrong, bad, dark, whatever. You shouldn't write with your left hand. You had to write. They were forced to write with the right hand. Left-handed people. It's strange. And then you're told, same with school, right through your school, you are programmed and criticized. It's like even children now. They don't let children do a math thing. If you do a math, whatever, you work something out and you get the right answer. No, you work it out this way. This is how you do the sum. You are told all the time. So that program stuck in you. That the way you're thinking or doing is not right. You must do it this way. you go to work, this is how we do it. There's no individual, you're constantly told, you constantly think about it, you're constantly criticized for how you do things. And I thought, and then they showed me the whole lot, and I thought, oh my gosh, this is where this comes, and we all hold it without even realizing it. So we go around telling people exactly, no, this is how you should be doing it, don't do that way, you should be doing that job, you should be doing this. This is where it starts. This programming starts right throughout our school. And it has a really negative impact on us. So why do you think we're critical and we're always wanting to tell? We don't listen, we just let people do it their way. No, you've got to do it this way. And no breakthroughs and geniuses in the world ever discovered that way. Most of them left school, I'm not surprised. Because they were told, oh, no, you can't do it, you're silly, you don't know how to do it. It's like trying to squeeze all fish, to make them walk on grass. We've all been. The school system is horrendous. It's not, everybody has gifts and special ways of doing it. I mean, if they did that, we'd have breakthroughs in science all the time. No. We're trained to think like this. You do it like that. You resolve the problem like this. It's a nightmare. So it has a terrible impact, and you see it. And I'm watching it in people's behavior. We are going around telling people what we think they should be doing and how they should be doing it. And I was like, oh my gosh. I had no idea it would come from there. But when I was shown all these things, like, oh wow, it makes such sense. And all our life, this rubbish has been our children especially, it's horrendous, the schools. The school system, it's never changed in like 200 years. It's such a negative system. So yes, they're all told, no, that's wrong. It doesn't matter how they worked it out. We must do it like this or you're going to fail. You have to write it like this. Or it is just such control. It's control and programming, yeah. So we're told we're not supposed to think for ourselves. We shouldn't do anything different. It's conformity. It's horrendous. So that was interesting. And then what are the other ones I did? Oh yeah, I went back. Oh, it was painful. I did some healing today. Wow. Because I've taught people when you do your meditation, you've got to do your shadow work and clear, right? You've got to get rid of traumas. You think it's one meditation. Oh, no. It goes along. And I had done one a way back with my family. And as I said to people, before you come into earth, you make soul contracts, agreements, you've got karmic debt, whatever, with these people. And some come to push you purposely, and you think they're horrible, but it's actually, sometimes for the better or, whatever it is. So I had already made ones and set all of my kids and family free, whatever soul agreements, contracts, promises, bonds, we agreed on. Please forgive me if I've ever harmed you, hurt you, and I'm setting you free, and I'm cutting all contracts, promises, bonds, ties. When I leave this planet, and I want to be free. So whatever we did, the thing is finished, because I want to start a clean slate. So I'd call them all, and I'd visualize cutting all those contracts, bonds, promises, agreements. Forgive me if I caused you any harm in your life, whatever hurt you feel I hurt, whatever, You go through the whole thing. So I thought that was done. But now I don't know if any of you that have gone through a past life regression, you would know this. But my past life regression never finished. There was a good reason why now, probably because I can share this with people, you see. So I had such a long one, and I had done things back from past lives, and then I never got to do the healing, because right at the end they do clearing and healing. I never got to do that. There's always a reason why these things happen. Mine went on too long, and we left it with, okay, we'll come back when I'm ready. Another time we'll do the healing and we'll finish it. But I never did. I just didn't feel guided to do it, to finish it. For a good reason, I suppose. So next minute, down comes my mother. Now this was very painful because I lost my mother, she was young. She was 62 or 64 when she died of cancer. But I understand, I even knew why she died. And I tried to tell her 10 years before that it was because of anger and grief and things she hadn't let go of. So I chose a family. Now, if you understand, if you go into past life regressions, you'll understand our DNA is like a massive computer. It stores all. If you drop into this family, like the body I'm in now, I chose this DNA in this family. All that history, ancestral history of trauma, whatever's happened in that family or family is passed down to you. Its memories are stored in the DNA. And this is why it normally carries on to families. So if there's any sexual abuse or any whatever, it'll end up happening to that child. And we never understood why it kept repeating in the family. But if you do this healing yourselves and shadow work, you set your entire lineage free. You free everybody. So from anyone that comes after you, this is cleared. You're not passing down those shadows, that trauma, that ancestral trauma and history on. It's not a repetitive cycle. This is why it's healing the planet. It's amazing. We're setting our ancestors and our children free. This is why I did it. So my mom appeared, and I was like, oh, well. Now, I'm sure we've all done this if we've lost someone. Before I was conscious and I was awake. Now, we grew up, most of us, with a Christian, doctrine or in your schools or whatever else. So my mother got really sick, and I knew why I knew what manifested her cancer, because I'd warned her 10 years before that she hadn't let go of this anger, forgiveness. And she'd had it festered in her, so it festered a disease. But she also had trauma that she had never let go of, and I didn't know till basically a week before she died. And my mom was not religious. She didn't go to church, but she asked to see a priest before she died. I got someone to come visit her. And it turned out that she had been abused from a little girl, and she had forgiven her stepfather that abused her and raped her and everything, but she had never forgiven her mother, because I think deep down she knew her mother knew about it, but her mother looked the other way. So on her deathbed she had to forgive her mother. But anyway, being a child and everything else, your mum's suffering, and I wasn't conscious of that day, so I still prayed and I said, okay, please. You save my mom and whatever else, and I'll be a good Christian for the rest of my life, whatever else. And, you do all this nonsense. Because you think you got bargain, whatever. You don't know. It's their soul's journey, their soul's choice, their own healing. We weren't awake. Anyway, a lot of things. But I had taken on a lot of her, what we don't realize as souls. We've all done this. I bet you a lot of people would have done this, and we don't realize the impact. When I did this past life regression, I realized I had left a bit of my soul in a past life, and I'd taken someone else's soul. I'd dragged around me for a couple of carnations, because you hadn't let their heart, you hadn't resolved that thing down there. You'd carried their heart or their pain or whatever energy. It's energy. So a piece of your soul is missing, and you've got a piece of their soul, and you'll be constantly searching for this because you don't understand it's on that level. I'd done this with my mother. I had taken on lots. I wanted to take on her suffering or her pain, whatever else. So I had to ask her for all my energy back, and I had to give her back her energy, which I'd taken from her. Now you think you're doing good by saying you want to take someone's pain, I'll take it for you, now give it to me and punish me. You could save my mother and punish me, what a nonsense. We don't realize what we're doing. So as a soul, she couldn't heal. She was not whole, because I had taken it wasn't mine to take. Her, her suffering or her pain, her whatever she had to go through, her energy, and she had taken some of mine. So yes, we had to give it back. I was like, all right, give me back my energy. It's mine. It doesn't belong to you. I'm sorry, and I'm sorry I took any of yours. It was your thing to work out, and I wish you healing and whatever else. And very painful though to see I missed her. So and also that you hang on to that all that grief. You hold on to that, losing them. It's hurt. It's painful. So I had to really. So that was oh my gosh, let that one go. Then my brother had taken lots of my energy, trying to do, like people think they're protecting someone by, trying to take on you try and take away their hurt from them. You mustn't do that, their pain and things. You're taking on their energy. So we do that. So he'd taken, I said, give my energy back, thank you. Right, now you're clear. My sister, I had karmic debt with, maybe a previous life. Interesting. So anyway, so that was another one. So I had karmic debt with my sister. She had come back to pay karmic debt, so she made my life difficult, because so I thought, I wonder what I did to her in a previous life. I don't know. But that was interesting. It was interesting, profound. But the interesting one was this, that we're all doing it, and this is where this problem comes on earth. And while we're always judging and criticizing and whatever, it's just wow. And I can see it. That was interesting. I know the whole system is made schooling. It's to school you how they want you to go. No, don't. Only so many jobs available. Be a doctor or be a nurse. Don't do that. It's all about, oh my gosh. Go and be a worker and pay taxes, and that's why. Support the slave system. But it was interesting. Then, so I did that, and I was like, whew, that was a relief. But it's good, because you notch up in frequency. The more you release, the more light, the higher in frequency you go. So it's very good. But I had no idea there was still, sometimes little things pop up, more things, you don't know what you're going to, it just keeps coming, whatever. So that was like, whoo. So I thought, all right, going to the park, and I'm going to go sit there, because the planet, we need to do this for the planet. We don't realize. As a collective, you are setting your entire family, your siblings, your ancestors, yourselves, your children free. Please go to a past life regression. Please do healing and clearing. And then when if you're doing a meditation, every now and then something will get a feeling. If you notice, like my daughter just said, well, you'd criticize why you was telling me, or I was, saying, and she got irritated a bit. I thought, sometimes, and then I pay attention. I'm being critical. That's interesting. Where does that come from? Why? You sit down and you meditate on these things, and you ask or you might be blocking yourself from manifesting. There's still things I didn't realize, a trust issue that I had carried. This goes ancestral trauma. This carries down right from the ancestor, my mom. So that one I've got to. So it's like, oh my gosh. But we do this. We're helping the planet because we've all got so much dark, dense energy, so we can ascend, go up in frequency. We're helping the collective. We're clearing this from our DNA. We're clearing it out of this entire and this lineage of DNA, so it will not be affected. Clearing that memory, and when that trauma is not passed down, it's amazing. So I did that. So today I thought, all right, I'm going to go walk to the park, and I'm going to sit in the sun, and I'm going to send. I took 3 crystals with me: love, healing, and calm. Programmed them because we need this on the planet. Boy, to send out this because there's so much healing needed among people. And they're not releasing, and it's causing chaos on the planet, as we notice, seismic activities, and you name it, it's going to go on here. And that's what the angels are showing me. That's what I'd seen before, source and whatever. So I went to the park, and I thought, I need some rest, calm, and healing as well. After that, it was quite heavy. So I'll go sit. I'll walk to my nearest park, and I'll just go and sit there in the sun a bit, and I'll sit in the grass, and I'll recharge. This is my intention. So... who knows what's going to happen these days? You never know. So I decided to go walk to this park. It was really funny. And I'm walking up the road towards the park, and this cat comes along. Now, I don't own cats. I don't know them very well. I'm a dog person and a horse, and I'm an ocean. I'm massively ocean drawn. I love my whales, my dolphins, my reefs. I know my fish and my squid and everything. I live in the ocean. I can just live in there permanently. So I'm walking up the road, and this cat, something's wrong. I thought, oh my gosh, this cat's lost, it's starving. And I'm walking up the road, and this cat comes next to me, meow, 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 meow. And I'm thinking, what's wrong? And I think, oh, shame, this cat must be really hungry, it's lost, or it's locked out, because you could see. But it didn't look really, starving. So it's crying and carrying on and meowing, and I carry on walking, but the cat's now, it won't let me go. It's running after me. It's running next to me, meow, 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 meow. So I'm thinking, oh, shame, it must be locked. It's looking for help. It's locked out, or it's hungry. It wants something. So normally I'm thinking, okay, it's a stray cat. It must be lost, or someone dumped it. This is, normal 3D mind. We're not being conscious. So I stopped and I bent down. And the cat, I don't know cats, and I'm not a cat lover. The cat starts running around me. And it's rubbing, it's walking around me in circles and rubbing itself on my legs and going around rubbing itself. And I'm thinking, shame. So I stared down, and I maybe just wants petting the cat. So I thought, shame, the cat wants, it's lost, it's abandoned, or, who knows. So I'm looking around, I'm thinking, this is strange. This cat won't leave me alone. It's something wrong here. It's whatever. Someone maybe threw it out of their car or something. So I look across the road, and I see a lady sitting on a deck chair in her garden. So, she's in the street. So I said, oh, hi, straight in front of me. I said, do you know whose cat this is? It's lost or something. She said, no, it's ours. So I was like, oh, she's right across the road watching this. I said, oh, okay, well, do you mind if I, talk to your cat? She said, no problem. So I bent down, but I don't think she realized I meant talk to it, like tap into the cat psychically. Because I thought, well, why is the cat, maybe it wants to tell me something. It lives across the road, nothing's wrong with it, why is it harassing me? So I bent down, and I tapped into the cat, and I said, well, okay, is there anything you want to tell me? So next minute, the cat shows me this grey, like I suppose animal beds they've got. It's like a grey round donut, like a donut. It's a grey round big pillow, hard grey canvas, like a charcoal grey. And it toys and everything, and I'm thinking, all right, the cat and dog have got this bed, and that's all right, they seem to sleep together. But yeah, and then it shows me this. People have cats. They have. I don't know. I don't have cats. I don't know. I've seen them before in pet shops. It's got a flat stand, and it looks like a tree, and it's got a thing that comes up on a branch here and a branch here, and it's covered in string or rope. And cats scratch on it, or whatever they do with it. Whether they sharpen their nails, or it's to clean their nails or something. I don't know what the purpose is, but they use these things. They like it. So the cat shows me this scratchy thing. it wants the scratchy thing. So I thought, all right, this lady's going to think I'm not, I'm a little bit cookie here, but never mind. The cat, So I went across the road to her and I said, listen, I'm psychic. Everyone is actually, you all can do this. And I said to her, I spoke to your cat, and your cat says it wants a scratchy thing. I said, the cat showed me, do you have, I said, a grey, I explained the bed with the toys, and the woman said, yeah, that's it. And I was like, okay, well, wow, this is interesting. So the cat described the bed and everything and the toys perfectly well. And I said, well, do you have a scratchy, like a tree thing the cat can scratch itself? She says, we had one, but the other cat we had destroyed it. So we threw it out. So I said to her, well, that cat wants its scratchy thing. She goes, oh, wow. She said, okay, well, we'll buy another one. So I was like blown away. The cat described the bed, the dog, the toys, everything perfectly. And its scratchy thing, but they had thrown the scratchy thing away. So the cat either needed it or wanted its scratchy thing back. So I was like, okay, this is a new one. Bye. And then the cat went back home, ran across the road and went home. And I was like, wow, that was interesting. So I go to the park. What a day. I go to the park and I'm sitting there in the sun and I'm guided. I don't know why. It was a strange thing. There was like a round stone, and then they're like a tall, long, almost like a marker, I suppose, like who knows, it's like a meter long. So in the park they'd built, I don't know, it must have been really old. England's always, all these things are old. When they built the park, I don't know why they built it like this. You've got a normal park and it's on a hill, but one section is it's got like a round flat area. They'd carved it in. So they dug in a round area, like a round flat area. And then in the front of it, there's this flat stone, like a footstone. And inside the footstone, there's a long, tall column. So, England's always got it's very dodgy, the history, and strange. So I thought, okay, well, is this a ley line thing, connected to a ley line or something, whatever, and why So I was guided to go and sit smack in this circle. And I thought, all right, I'll just go and sit there. And then I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, all right, because we know these sacred. So I thought, let me tap into the stone and ask the stone, what its purpose is here, and what it does. Maybe there's something funny here. So I tap into the stone and I see them building this thing and putting it up. And I said to stone, what is your purpose here? And the stone hasn't got one. It was just built. I don't know why it was built. And I'm asking if it's aligned to anything. No. So I think, okay, well, what the hell did they build this for then? But the stone contains quite a lot of crystal. You can see it's got a lot of crystal in it, energy. So I thought, interesting. And I don't know why we shamans and people, and there's a lot of healers and shamans, and they all can do the same thing. Why we haven't thought about this? Because ages ago, we built these things, a pyramid, Stonehenge, and whatever, and they were at very high frequencies. Okay, for portals and other purposes, but they held that frequency, caused a balance. So they held a high frequency on the planet. They were all connected and they were all in certain places, besides being teleportation things. But it kept our frequency on the planet, the humans at a certain frequency. So before we dropped into dense, dark, negative, control of the planet, and those were destroyed. So I thought, I'm thinking, this is dumb. I'm telling people, because I do it, you can program your rocks and crystals. Like this one, I went today for a walk. I programmed this one for calm. I got from Linda Gunn. I told you on my page, I got a few from Linda. Linda Gunn, she's a healer, and she makes them, she's very affordable. She's compared to some people's crystals. She makes these necklaces. And this stone, anyway, I love it. I love the color, because it's ocean like me. So I programmed him today for calm. And I do that for you can program crystals and you can program stones, no joke. You can ask your stones to give you grounding at night. You can program your crystals, the whole frequencies. We did all this. So I'm thinking, we're being so stupid. Here we're sitting, we know about our ancients did this, right? We know our planet's dropped in frequency, that's dark, dense, and the dark had control of this planet. And they still are, having fun here, as we noticed. So I just thought, wow, why aren't us as shamans and healers doing this? For heaven's sake, we've got all these sites. We can do it even in your park. So it doesn't matter whether sacred sites or wherever they are. You can program those rocks and crystals to lift the frequency in your town or your village and vibration. It will send it out and affect all people. So it will affect your town. So if you've got, a mountain, a rock, any sort of sites or, whatever in your place, we can do that. I was like, oh my gosh, why didn't we think of that before? I've seen the readings, the scalar readings of them. Some of them are much higher and some are very low. They've gone back sort of 10,000 years and saw what some of the sites were. Some of the sites were 1,000 frequency. They're now sitting at 200 or 400. We know they were dropped terribly. but we are able to reprogram them. We came here to this planet, we built those things, and we programmed them for a purpose, to hold that frequency, so we can do the damn same again. Instead of doing it with our personal crystals, why aren't we doing it with things like that? Because we need love, calm, and healing on this planet, right? So we can raise the frequency. You'll see it affect in your town big time. So I said to this rock, right, I said, right, I told him to send out a frequency of love, calm, and healing, because we need it on this planet. The frequency of love is 525. So I've told that rock to radiate, with all the other rocks around him and the thing, to radiate that frequency and that energy of love, peace, or calm. Love, calm, and healing. Because we really need it. The planet needs it. The earth needs it, because we've got volcanic stories and things like that. And I thought, oh my gosh, why didn't we think of this? We did this. We know these. I'm telling people you can program, and I do it. I do my meditations. I put it at the 12th dimension or 12th density sometimes, whatever. And I do these grids. And we know it works. I take them with me and I go walking. Okay, increase my frequency, put a sphere out, whatever, all these kind of things. I was like, oh wow, how dumb. I've been sitting here and we're waiting for what? Who's going to come and do it for us? Nobody. We're remembering and get our gifts back, and we get our sights back, and we're getting all this knowledge and downloads back for a reason. So we can take our planet back. So putting it out there for any of you that are shamans, healers, psychics, start doing it, people. All right. We know someone can put negative intent into your crystals and program it, so you can have some nasty things. That's why I tell people, if they buy crystals online, clean them before you use them. Unless you know it's coming from a healer. Whatever intent you put into that stone, that's what the stone will do. So if you buy it from someone and they've sent you a stone, a healer, with the intent of healing, that's what it will do. This one I've now programmed him to keep calm. I want calm. So it puts energy of calm all around, so it stays calm. I said, right, keep a field, and I saw this field of calm around me, because I need it. I was like, after today, painful. But you let it go afterwards, but still, it's like, wow. So please, people, start doing that in your towns, all right? Your towns, go look in your parks, go look at the mountain, maybe. You've got a mountain or a hill, big rocks. Speak to them. You can speak to them. Ask them to raise their frequency. You can program them. We actually would be good if we put them all at 1,000 on the planet back. All our sacred sites and ancient sites should be all running at 1,000 frequency. Very few are. Some of them are 700, some sacred sites and temples and things that were built in the megalithic times. But most of them are down. There's one in Egypt that is very high. And I told you, if you want to find out about this, I shared the channel, which I actually asked them to interview them. They've got technology that reads frequencies. Amazing. So Alejandra and Elena Bosch, they've got a channel called Holistic something. I've shared it before. And I've told people to go and have a look. It's amazing. I talked about, yes, on my YouTube channel, there's one, I made a whole talk about ayahuasca and psychedelics. Some people got offended because, our ancients and our shamans do that. Yes, only the shamans and the medicine people took it for a reason. But this also, remember, they started taking it after we fell. They have a low vibration and low frequency. They have done their shadow work and healing, so they're not affected. But this, whatever you take it, it's only going to give you a certain frequency and dimension you're going to get above, because it's a low frequency. So you'll be able to see the dark, the lower realms, but you're not going to get to the higher realms anyway. It's good for shadow work and stuff. That's where you're at. So I explained this whole thing, and I linked their channels underneath. In the description of that video, I put the link to their channels, and they've done the frequency reading, and they've also measured shamans when they take it, to see when their soul left, to see if any other entity entered. Because entities can enter to manipulate you. And they saw this. And they measured the frequencies of quite a few things. Pharmaceuticals, ayahuascas, sacred sites, aliens, planets. It's amazing. Really interesting. So if you go to my YouTube channel, under the ayahuasca video, in the description, I put the links to those videos where they're talking about, with another scientist about this. And they've been doing scientific research into it. And then this one's doing the scalar reading. But that's their channel. Fascinating channel. They've done some fascinating work. Because now they're doing this with science. We've got science to go with it. So yeah. So I think we should be programming all these rocks and sites in our area either to 1,000 frequency. So tell them to hold a frequency vibration of 1,000, or send, right, to hold love, calm, and healing, because this planet doesn't need healing. Wow. So all these people that are in trauma, in fear, in anger, whatever the story is, we said that is going to be held across the planet. We will soothe, as I said, we've got problems with the earth itself, magnetic field, because if more people and the rocks and everything's holding this, it's going to soothe those earthquakes, soothe the vibration, soothe all this nonsense coming in. So this is why I did it. So I would, at the moment where we are now, we need to, if we push the frequency up, it'll hit the collective too much, because they haven't done clearing. So we shunt these things up to 1,000, it's going to shove that dark, dense energy up in people even more to the surface. So we're going to have more trauma and anger and suicides and all kinds of nonsense and crazy behavior on the planet and seismic. So I think we should be, I think at the moment they need to release, we need people to do healing, shadow work, badly. Get rid of all this nonsense, anger, fear, judgment, hate, criticism, the chaos, rage, the lot is out there. So yeah, there's a suggestion, people. Go around, talk to your rocks, your mountains, your stones, your crystals, your ley lines, your sacred sites, whatever. And tell them all, because that's what we are done, that's what we were to do, and we are able to do it, and we can do it. Tap into those rocks, tap into those crystals. They'll show you their story as well. It's fascinating. You see ancient history, and wow, it's amazing. I've discovered some ancient sites and history here that people don't even know it's in this country, but I'm not telling them either, because then they'll go and dig it up, and it'll be archaeological, and they disturb their resting ground. And it was beautiful. It goes back before the Anglo-Saxons invasion, when the Celtic people lived just so peacefully in harmony, nicely. But I'm not going to tell them where that was. I don't know. They'll straight away, it'll be archaeological dig, and they'll go and destroy it. But these are all coming back. And I said to people, we will start finding new discoveries and sites. They showed me some already. When people are ready, they'll be discovered. And I looked on Facebook the other day, and I saw, they discovered some city in Egypt, a new pyramid thing or ancient thing. They're saying it's 3,005. Their dates are absolute bollocks anyway. But they've discovered some other site now in Egypt. All these things are starting to pop up. Why? Because we're raising in frequency. And at a certain frequency, some of these things will be disclosed. We're meant to find, our history will be revealed. It will start coming out. And as I said, some things not yet. I wasn't allowed to reveal what I was shown. We had some incredible things on the planet. But I wasn't allowed to tell the public what I saw. We had, wow. Because we're still at the age of, we still got dark control, power, greed running the planet, financial systems and taxes. If you're still paying taxes, we know we still got the control system in place. Because that's just a total, yeah. So until once we've got the financial system, and you're still paying taxes, and you're still having passports and borders, we know that, we still have we're still in a dense dark control system, and they haven't. But we want to bump them off the planet, so let's do this, people, please. Program everything out there. All right, the stones, rocks, crystals, sacred sites, wherever you are, the areas, send it out, because Earth needs it. All right, and the bloody humans do. As I said, we're all connected, so they're affecting each other. So the more earthquakes and the more things go off, the more frightened people are, and it's like a vicious circle. As I explained, the angel showed me this. They're trying to do it, and I saw it. It came before, in 2 visions. It was amazing. YouTube channel is Multidimensional World 2020 and beyond. On my TikTok, when you set up your TikTok profile thing, you can put their website, Instagram. I don't do any of these things. I'm 60, like, hello. I only ended up on TikTok because of my daughter. Well, I was guided to. So when they finished, whatever messages they want me to share with the public will come. And when my time is finished, then I won't need, that's when it's time. I don't need to anymore. I'll be, that's it. I'm just doing my job. I'm doing my bit on the planet here. So yeah, it's Multi-Dimensional World 2020 and beyond. All separate words. Multi-Dimensional World 2020 and beyond. These are only for the TikTok lives. I started that channel So for people that don't get the lives, so I can upload them to YouTube so they can watch, you know, because not everybody's on the same time. So that's why I did it, to share the, you know, the messages so everyone can see it. So there we are, and you'll find it on my TikTok page. Enough people have asked me, and I've told them my astral trips. They can go to my Facebook page. I've given the name of my Facebook page on the 60-second videos. I've put it on the text. I've told them my YouTube channel. I put the text, the name of my channel on the text on the video and everywhere. So there's where they can find some of these things. So they're there. But my astral trips and my remote views, most of those, I mean, going back last year already. When I do them, I go straight on to Facebook and I share them live, so I don't forget, because I see so much and so much comes in. Different messages, good, bad, whatever I see, I share them immediately. And I didn't have a TikTok. I only just joined TikTok because I was guided to. That's why I'm here. And I asked the angels what needs to come. You know, I've always asked them, and I asked Source, any beings that are for the greater good for humanity, whatever humanity they want to show them, tell them, see, let it come through. And when they want me somewhere else, I'll be doing something else. But for now, yes, I never thought I'd ever see myself on TikTok or any of this sort of thing. I was no. But anyway, you do as you're told, or you go with it. You don't fight it. What's meant to be is meant to be. And I always knew that. I said, okay, well, I'll do it. But whoever's ever meant to see it, hear it, they will find it. That's how it works. Their soul will find it if they're meant to, at whatever time they're meant to see whatever it is and find it and get the information. So there we are. So I'm asking shamans and healers and psychics to get busy, boy. Let's get this. Let's help the planet ascend, because we do this, the more clearing and stuff happens, the more dark, dense energy and these other things get bumped off the planet. So we'll have less of this negative and dark and nastiness on the planet, and that shadow and stuff is lifting, and we're raising in frequency and vibration. We're helping lift everybody and the planet. Wonderful. No, I'm not. I've never. I just talk. You know, I'm treating. If this was my friend I'm talking to, I'm myself. That's it. I talk like I would talk if I was talking to my neighbor or my kid. I just be myself, and that's it. You know, whatever. I'm not an influencer person or one of these things, and I'm not a lecturer, and I haven't done media, but any of this nonsense. I'm in my pajamas half the time, and I haven't even showered. Or whatever. I just, as it's, when I'm guided. When it just comes, okay, talk, and I just say. And it comes through me, and I say what I have to say. They show me what they want to show me, and that's it. I don't seek information, unless it's for myself, like the healing I did, because I just thought it was me. I was like, oh, okay. Interesting what comes out. All right, lovely people. So I'll share that for everybody. So start spreading that. Hold it in your bodies. Do your meditations. Hold it in your field, and when you go out, say to the shop, or you're going somewhere in public, put an intention around you in a sphere. Do your meditation, just happen, and that you radiate love, calm, and healing. Okay, or love, peace, and healing, whichever one. So you know you'll affect people. That frequency, that field, auric field around you will be radiating that out to people. So you are spreading wherever you go, love, peace and healing, or love, calm and healing. You will affect those around you, affect the planet. But it's not programming rocks and mountains and crystals and sacred sites and whatever else. Okay, you can do it with your local beaches, your rivers. You can tap into anything. They need healing. Believe me, the waters and things need healing. So yeah. All right. Love you guys. You have a wonderful evening. I'm going to go make some dinner now. I've had quite a day. And we're all going through upgrades. So my daughter even said she didn't sleep last night. And I was, a lot came through to me last night. Wow. A lot of shadow work and healing that needs to be done by some people. And they've got a lot of trauma, and they showed me why. Wow. This is not going to be healed by any psychiatrist. They wouldn't get to the depth. They wouldn't understand why. But I understand now why they're holding that trauma and what caused it. But they're going to have to go for a regression to be able to, or a psychic, a healer, to get this.